Today I'd like to read you a story called Me and Annie McPhee, written by Oliver Dunry, illustrated by Will Hillenbrand. And Will Hillenbrand, does anybody remember the snowman story that had no words in it last year? Well, this is the same illustrator, but there are words in this one, and I hope you enjoy it like I do. And hello, Piper. And this is Butts. In the middle of the sea, as far as the eye could see, there was nothing to see but sea. Who can raise a quiet hand and tell me what you think you're looking at here? Riley?
The ocean.
The ocean. What else do you see, Cooper?
Is that the water's gray?
The water's gray. Yes?
Binoculars.
Binoculars. Yep. In the middle of the sea, as far as the eye could see, there was nothing to see but sea. Nothing but sea and one tiny island just big enough for me, just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than me. There was nothing to see but sea and two wee dogs, who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than me. Can you start to see who the next character might be? There was nothing to see but sea, and three perky pigs, all wearing wigs, two wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than me. Nolan?
I can tell next, the parrot's going to be next.
Yes, there's a bird going to be next. Very good observation. Nolan saw that there's going to be some kind of bird next. You were right. There was nothing to see but sea, and four frumpy hens hunched with their pens. Three perky pigs, all wearing wigs, two wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than me. Yes, Riley?
I can, hear that it's a rhyming book.
Wow, did everybody hear that? It's a rhyming, very good. Yes?
The next one's going to be a worm.
A worm? You think a worm?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know.
Anybody up close see anything else? What do you see? A bird. Very good. Let's see. There was nothing to see but sea. Five baby geese, all named Maurice, four frumpy hens hunched with their pens, three perky pigs, all wearing wigs, two wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than me.
John.
Thank you for raising a quiet hand.
I
Cooper.
see like a hand right there in the cave.
Okay. Does anybody else see something? Mace? You see the same thing?
He's holding a pail.
A pear, and what would rhyme with a pear?
Bear.
Maybe it's bear with pear.
Oh no.
There was nothing to see but sea, and six black bears chomping on pears. Four baby geese, all named Maurice, four frumpy hens hunched with their pens, three perky pigs, all wearing wigs, two wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than me. You know I am choosing at you because you didn't make a sound when you raised your hand. What do you think? What do you think's next?
A snail.
A snail. Can everybody see the snail?
Yeah.
There was nothing to see but sea, and seven sleek snails sliding on shale, six black bears chomping on pears, five baby geese, all named Maurice, four frumpy hens hunched with their pens, three perky pigs, all wearing wigs, two wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than me. Good job. What do you see next?
I see like something chalk.
It kind of gives us a clue because it's something holding a candle. So it would be something that we would think of at night. Maybe when we're trying to fall asleep, people say sometimes we count these.
Oh,
Do we count? Oh, was that sheep? Good job. There was nothing to see but sea, and eight shy sheep creeping towards sleep, seven sleek snails sliding on shale, six black bears chomping on pears, five baby geese, all named Maurice, four frumpy hens hunched with their pens, three perky pigs, all wearing wigs, two wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie McPhee, who was no bigger than
Me.
What do you see?
Fish.
Fish, pigeons, what else might be?
Oh, penguins. Penguins' feet.
Right, you got it right next time. Raise your hand, okie dokie. There was nothing to see but sea, and 9 penguins, 9 ready to dine, 8 shy sheep creeping towards sleep, 7 sleek snails sliding on shale, 6 black bears chomping on pears, 5 baby geese, all named Maurice, 4 frumpy hens hunched with their pens, 3 perky pigs, all wearing wigs, 2 wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island, just big enough for me, and Annie, who was no bigger than me. Is there somebody that hasn't had a chance who would like to raise their hand and see what was next? Harper?
I see some like penguin feet that look like fish.
Like fish. Anybody else who hasn't had a turn? Ava?
I see 2 people in a boat jumping around.
Yes, Ethan?
Penguin.
Penguins? How about somebody up
We
close?
already have.
Emma, can you see what that is?
Is it a raft? Or it is.
Mouse or a rat? Let's see. There was nothing to see but sea, and 10 rascally rats skipping in hats, 9 penguins, 9 ready to dine, 8 shy sheep creeping towards sleep, 7 sleek snails sliding on shale, 6 black bears chomping on pears, 5 baby geese, all named Maurice, 4 frumpy hens hunched with their pens, 3 perky pigs, all wearing wigs, 2 wee dogs who thought they were frogs, on one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie, who was no bigger than
Me.
My favorite page is coming. In the middle of the sea, as far as the eye could see, there was nothing to see but sea, and one tiny island just big enough for me, and Annie, who was no bigger than
Me.
This is my favorite illustration. Look at that.
Aw.
Too crowded for me, shouted Annie McPhee. So who wants to guess where she's going to go and how she's going to get there? You tell me what she's going to do, Mace. Cooper, I mean.
I think she's gonna go home.
Okay, and how do you think she's going to get there?
Where?
Okay.
Whale.
Emma?
Boat.
A boat. Let's see. She sails away on the whale. Boys and girls, thank you for being wonderful listeners. And today you're going to get a book, but I would like you to pick something that you can read today. And I'm going to show you where they are. And we got to remember to be quiet because they're testing in there. So you may go get your books. Hi, Piper.